leadership to me is to lead by example. The downside of it, I would say, having a distributed team is, with every company you have challenges and teams go working in silos together. Well, I think any young person should do something that you're passionate about, first of all, right? My name is Sinéad Ryan. I'm head of global services at Evolv AI. My primary responsibilities are to manage a professional services team across North America and EMEA. So I'm responsible for both regions. I manage a team of principal consultants in the professional services team, principal consultants, strategists, solution engineers, principal consultants, and then a design build test team, which we run out of the Ukraine with Redwerk. Thank you very much. And with another company called Morian in Argentina. So massive global presence. We're HQ'd in San Francisco, but we have a head office here in Europe, in Dublin, in Ireland, and we're growing that team out over the next year. Yes, but it's definitely changing. We have, Vodafone are a large mobile operator. In Ireland, the CEO of Vodafone is a female, and she made a distinct decision. I don't always agree with this, but she made a decision to make her entire management team all female. In Ireland, we're noticing that a lot of CEOs are now female roles, so it's definitely changing. There's a big shift change in the past 5 years or so, where we're getting to see more female representation. It's not that it's equal just as yet in terms of salary. There's definitely still a pay gap, and while we're seeing more representation from C-suite level down, we're starting to see more young girls getting interested in STEM in particular, studying it in school and doing quite well actually. Yeah, so through a recruitment round they found me. I did my panel interview with the CTO and his team, and the reason I chose the job, I had other offers, but the reason I chose working for Evolv was I really liked the people, and that was a big decision maker for me. I liked how they got together, they worked together. Even though they're a small company, they bat way above their weight, and I've always in my career liked building things from scratch and building something up, so either building a team or a product or a solution. And I liked Evolv because they're building a company, and it's a really good one, and it's the people that keep me here, and makes it a nice place for me to work. So we provide optimization on the front end of our customers. So on our customers' front end, whether that's their website or mobile application. We're not an A/B testing company. We provide optimizations or testing, but the key part of our solution is in the back end. It's in the AI machine learning engine. So instead of doing standard A/B testing where you route traffic like on an A test or a B test, we actually, based on user behavior, spin up permutations of experiences based on the data that we're feeding into that platform. So based on user behavior. So depending on how users behave when they want to purchase something online, we can fire events off each part of that user journey. And we track those events, and then we pull new ideas into the population of the optimization which we're running, and we spin up multiple different experiences based on that behavior. That data then goes back into the AI machine learning engine again, and then based on that user behavior, we're spinning up an experience that is better for the end user and for the customer. At the moment, with the market trends, and we're seeing like a global downturn, I suppose we're at a stage where we would be doing Series B, but we're just playing. We don't really need the funding right now. Like, we have good cash flow, so we're holding out on this because I think the options out there are limited right now, so we're just kind of like everyone is doing, it just a wait and see to see how things pan out. But the type of product and solution that we offer, we tend to do well in a global downturn, because companies will look for something, a solution or a product that's faster, cheaper, as they start to, maybe downsize their businesses a little bit. We will find that the more often they will come to a company like Evolv than they would go to somebody else. Yes, definitely. I feel like, again, go back to my point on the people at Evolv, and the relationships they have with each other. It was definitely difficult, more difficult than it should have been to meet in person. I think I'd been at Evolv over a year, I've been at Evolv actually 6 months before I met the first person, which was, you remember Phyllis, arrived in Ireland to help us build out the Irish team. Yeah, but I'd only met her the first time. And then our CTO came over last year, and then we went into lockdown again. So I got out to San Francisco for the first time in March of this year to get to meet people in person. And I think it's hugely important that people get together to problem solve. I feel that they problem solve better in person than online. So get around a whiteboard, have a chat, and, choose the breeze about ideas and be more innovative. I feel that it's easier to do that in person. But, then on the upside, we got a lot of work done. We're very productive online. We also at Evolv AI have like a very flexible way of working. So people can take time out as they need to, work later if they want to, work earlier if they need to, So definitely a flexible way of working and a hybrid way of working. So most of our employees work remotely anyway. So we have employees right across North America in all different states. Even in Ireland, we have people working in Dublin and down the country. So a lot of people made the decision during the pandemic to leave cities and move where the rent is cheaper, because rent is very expensive here in Dublin. Lots of people made the decision to move down the country, to the countryside, and work from home and have a better work-life balance, which we definitely support here at Evolv as well. I definitely think the other thing that I like about Evolv is our diversity, right? So we're we have a big diversity initiative around DEI, right? So diversity, equity, and inclusion. The company had originally spun out of San Francisco, and with most technology companies, mostly male, mostly white. We've definitely made huge steps to kind of, even with bringing on the Ireland team, we have an Iranian guy started in Ireland. We have a girl originally from Nigeria. We have, we've got 4 or 5 employees that are originally from India. So definitely over the past year during our hiring process, we've definitely made an effort to hire people from all backgrounds, culture, religion, even people with disabilities is very key to what we do. And so being able to provide wheelchair access in all our offices is hugely important. So really we go for the kind of smart, kind people is what we look for. But other than that, we don't, we try to be as diverse as we can be. So that's the positive side of it, because then you get more reach. You can hire from anywhere in the world. The downside of it, I would say, having a distributed team is, with every company you have challenges and teams go working in silos together. So, the challenges we had with Redwerk last year where, our teams are firing stuff over the fence at another team and it's kind of half-baked instead of handing something over that's, workable with. And then vice versa, so then you get this kind of, sometimes that happens, it's those handshakes that have been a challenge. And I think that's one challenge of all distributed teams, where you're trying to not have teams work in silos so much, but work together, respect each other, and make sure those handshakes are what they should be. Yeah, there's a good LinkedIn thread. It's also on Facebook. It's called a female lead. I don't know if you follow that. It's not a particular person. But it's a group on LinkedIn and social media called a female lead. And what they pull in is a good context on, female leaders from the past, women of, women who've contributed a lot to the world, through either writing or, acting from all parts or all professions, even from science. And they're actually a good group to follow, because it's not often that women are promoted like that. It tends to be mostly male. And I feel like that's a good group to follow, because it brings in previous females who are in a leadership role or contributed to society that you wouldn't normally hear about. So not one particular person, but that group is actually a good one. Leadership to me is to lead by example. So that classic picture of like a duck or a mother duck or a mother hen, and all the chicks just following her and copying what she does. I feel like that's kind of my idea of leadership, in that you teach by example and then people learn, and that's how they follow. That's my belief anyway. Like if you're doing something good and useful and meaningful, and somebody sees that, then typically they will follow. It's when you're doing something that's not meaningful and not maybe a good way of working that people are less likely to follow your lead. Well, I think any young person should do something that you're passionate about, first of all, right? So whether it's technology or anything, just find something that you're passionate about, because that will always then mean that you're never really working. You're always doing something that you like doing, that you enjoy doing. So then when you go to learn about it or train up on it, you don't feel like it's a task or a chore. So definitely always do something that you're passionate about.